we are African people. These stories of mental health, they are always met with superstitions. Is it spiritual? I'll ask Klara. You are a white person who embodied in spiritual Africanism. I'll put it that way. You are also an artist, a musician. What would you think?
Yeah, thank you. Ndinotenda chaizvo. Makati zvenyu. Tiripo. Yeah, ndine urombo ndakarwara mbichana saka izwi rangu richiri kudzoka. I've been sick a little bit these past days, so my voice is still coming back. And thank you so much for inviting me for this panel. So I feel that, of course, spirituality, and to me these days, that is the first question always when I look at any, especially big issues. So when we look at mental health, I think the first question I would ask is, what exactly are we talking about when we use the words mental health? What are we talking about here? And how much are those words mental health actually divorced from their 20th century history of the Cold War, where the Soviet Union and the Americans were competing for their ability to control the human mind? This is a very well documented history with, a lot of victims. Some of them in my family as well. The Soviet ones, we like to blame the Soviet for things, but the American projects as well. How do we control the human mind? Of course, we can say, well, in the interest of helping the human mind, but then we look at a project like the Guantanamo Bay project and the torture projects at the Guantanamo Bay project at the prison. Who was leading the torture plans? It was psychologists. So I mean, no offense. I'm just saying.
I don't take it personally.
Okay. No, I'm just saying we need to be realistic. That's the first thing. We need to be realistic first. What is this thing that we are talking about when we talk about mental health? It's not divorced from a history of policing, control, and sometimes we like you, sometimes we don't. Sometimes what you do is okay, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's not okay because you're black or because you're a woman. And then 20 years later, we say, actually, now it is okay, So for artists, it's especially important because, to my experience, all artists are spiritual people. We are all called by a spiritual dimension that these days is demanding our attention and our what do you want to call it? Celebration, cooperation, attention. Maybe attention is the best word. And when you see that, you also see that we artists are at the forefront of a war. And this is the, if you want to put it, hondo de fungwa, like the war for the human mind. Not just the human mind, but the war for reality as we experience it, as you experience it, Why should you agree to a limited sense of reality? Because what? Because somebody's going to say, because I say that you're healthy, because this means that you are healthy. When you are the channel and you are the one who is actually supposed to be opening worlds for humanity, because it's important, because we are not alone in this universe and we've always known that. We forgot it for a little while, unnecessarily. It hasn't done us any good, So it does take attention, it takes care, and I won't lie to you, it is challenging. You will be challenged. You will be more challenged. You will be challenged in ways that absolutely, maybe your non-artist friends, they can't help you, they can't support you, they can't understand you. Maybe somebody will come to you and say, you know what, I'm worried about your mental health. But as long as you deeply connect with your purpose and the reason for the way in which you are part of an expansion and reclaiming a spiritual decolonization of this entire earth, when you connect with that, then that purpose will carry you through the journey of creating in such a way, and it will be powerful, because it will be that process of reclaiming what we human beings were always meant to be able to do, which is see, hear, feel across universes, times, worlds, visions. So that's what I have to say.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you.
Wow.
Before I open to the audience, I would really